partnership between SEO and SEM. SEO continues to play quite a major role in search engine marketing. In today's digital landscape, it's above 90%, probably like 9 out of 10, if not more, online experiences are kicked off with a search. So regardless of the format of that query that someone's entering, whether it's transactional, navigational, informational in nature, whether it's a general head term or a specific long tail query, the vast majority of folks initiate their online experience by looking for something. So ultimately the question for educational institutions, what are these students or prospective students searching for? And how do we rank for those queries? And also kind of on top of that, the question becomes like, what do I pay for? And what do I want to rank for organically? Of course, you're still paying for that, just not in the same way. But the primary differentiators, I think, between the traditional educational centers versus digital counterparts is a need to focus on location-based and local search queries. And then just kind of, I guess, a deep dive into what separates or differentiates new sort of e-learning experiences from those traditional universities, in the fact that they're brick and mortar, they're not going anywhere. So it's important to think about the type of university or the type of institution that you're working for or run, and allow that to help you dictate your strategy for search. If a prospective student knows what they want to study, like a topic, let's say psychology, right? So if I want to study psychology, but ultimately I don't really know where I want to go to study psychology, I or a prospective student are going to position their search query specifically to rely on that focus of study, so psychology. So I would bet nearly 10 out of 10 times that the individual who's typing that in would start with the word psychology. And then perhaps words following that could be university or college or learning. And then most likely followed by a localized piece like near me, or maybe a specific region or city. So I'm in Austin, so why not say psychology universities near me or psychology universities in Austin. Now, I bet you're gonna see several universities, maybe even more, are gonna be vying for a top paid position in that SERP. It's an incredibly competitive SERP. And this is more or less a solid strategy to ensure that your brand is represented at a high intent and long tail query. You throw in the knowledge boxes and the rich snippets out there, and you're most likely to find that organic SERPs at this point are below the fold, and obviously are going to be generating less traffic. So it's the landscape we're living in these days with Google. And the question is, does this mean that SEM, PPC strategies are the only way to rank for localized search, or the only way that you can play this game? And I don't think they are, but they are definitely an effective way of boosting your brand awareness. You're still responsible ultimately for creating copy within that SERP or that ad that stands out, that immediately captivates the student. You gotta stick out from this sea of sameness and really emphasize your strengths. Psychology is a top focus at one of your university or your university partner. Then ensure that you're investing in that SERP. If it's not, then definitely don't compete with the universities that do have a great psychology department. On the other side of the coin, if you run into an e-learning institution, don't aim to compete with localized searches. Your content can be accessed anywhere in the globe. Don't have your XY online university attempt to rank against brick and mortar institutions. If a student wants to research online or e-learning platforms, they'll search for it. You'd be surprised how many e-learning institutions are throwing money away on localized searches. If you do operate an e-learning platform, focus on long-tail queries that demonstrate intent towards that e-learning, like online or digital degree, things of that nature. And of course, now I'm just sort of droning on about PPC and sort of paid practices for search engine marketing, but SEO is still so important. I believe SEO is still the king of search, especially for educated audiences. And I believe it's a solid play. When I was at Shoreline Education, we were working to bring international students to study at our partner universities. I was leveraging somewhat more barnacle, perhaps, SEO strategies by partnering with US News and World Report to organically and natively promote our partner institutions. In the end, educated searchers, folks that are looking for higher education, will inherently put more weight on publications that they trust over obvious ad content. So in that sense, SEO is still very, very much important in the overall search strategy for any institution, whether it's e-learning or more of a traditional institution. There's a whole level of attribution, and one way far easier than the other to attribute conversions to on the SEM PPC side. It's incredibly important to build out a heavy content marketing strategy for the purposes of organically ranking for a lot of high intent terms. And I think that those, once you get them up and you get them ranking, will stick around. The test is to see if you can get those ranking, because once they're there, they're not going away very easily. And again, if you're looking at the specific audience of folks that are looking to go to university or go to college or go to get reskilled in some certain discipline, these are most likely relatively smart individuals, and they know their way around the search engine. They know what content is genuine, and they know what content is advertised. So I think that with that specific audience, the folks that are looking to go to higher education, organic content is king.
Thank you for tuning into the Education Marketing Insider by Grow Enrollments. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel to stay updated. Stay tuned.